nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's coming. Yeah. Nobody's here to take you to the next level, because you wouldn't be able to see the opportunity if it was until you do some of these simple things. So the question is, what is one fear that you would like to conquer in the next year? And what would be one little small micro step? You know, you were talking about stepping out. Mm-hmm. So what's one fear that you would like to conquer?
Out west where the sun always beams bright, Midland skies keep the hustle in sight. BAM Consultants got the blueprint intact. For dreamers on the grind, they got your back. Championing dreams from the ground to supreme, providing that spark, igniting the team. Marketing flow strategies that glean. BAM in Midland, building your dream. They teach the
BAM! All right. I am excited for today. Yeah, man. Mr. Dan Nichols, how you doing, sir?
BAM! And a double BAM on top of it, yeah?
All day long.
Right.
Hello, Miss Tina.
Hey,
Tina
how
Townsend.
are you? Yeah, I'm excited.
Really excited,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, because I love it when you guys come on, because you always have something going on, something important, right? Impactful, something that's going to impact the community, and as it should, right? Because y'all are bringing something. Last year's conference, Focus, right? Was amazing, right?
That was a double BAM right there, too.
Yeah.
This one that's coming out is going to be a triple. A 5X.
Let's go.
5X.
Let's
Bam,
go.
bam, bam, bam.
Bam.
Yeah, because it's for the ladies, right? It's for the women, right?
Big part of our community
Huge.
right there. Yeah,
Huge.
solid community here in
Absolutely.
Texas. And the whole entire Permian Basin.
For sure.
Yeah.
You know, and I think, it's a kind of a microcosm of a global deal, right? Because, I mean, women are stepping into themselves, right?
Yes.
So I think this conference is extremely important, right? So could you tell us about it, Tina?
Well, absolutely. So we have a lot of speakers that are coming in. One of the main speakers that we have is Lisa Bevere, and we're very excited about her. She's faith-based, and she's going to come and kind of talk to people about their identity, who they are and who they're becoming. And our event is called Masterpiece, and God has created us to be that. And so being able to pour into the women into the room is kind of a goal that we have at Alpha Omega. That's what we want to do. That's what we want to see. A lot of women are busy. I think everybody listening can probably relate to that, right? I have kids, I have animals, I have sports, and every woman is so busy that sometimes they forget to pour into themselves, and they forget who they are, because they're doing for everyone else. And so this weekend is going to give them that opportunity to say, you know what, I'm going to step back, and I want to be clear on who I am, what I'm doing, who I'm doing this for, and what did God create me to be. And so that's what we're going in this weekend looking for.
I love that.
That's it.
I love that. So I want you to the details of the dates, how to get tickets. But before you go there, right, to our listeners, two things. One, hang on till the end, right?
Absolutely.
We got some nuggets for you to walk away from.
Oh, yeah. Not only that, but we've got a special gift for you
Yes, sir.
and for your listeners.
That's it.
Amazing.
But I'm not going to tell you right now. I know you're the one that opens up your birthday presents and Christmas presents early. you can't this one because you aren't going to get it
we
out.
can't say it yet, huh?
Well, we could, but we're not going to.
We're not going to.
I know you want to know, though. I know you well enough.
Soon.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. But
Yeah, and if you ever hide a Christmas present from him, beware, because he will snoop around. he snoops. I mean, he was the original OG of Snoop Dogg.
Have you been talking to my parents? They couldn't hide anything from me. Man. I'll tell you, because I knew from an early age there wasn't no Santa Claus.
Yeah.
They were hiding it, and I knew it. Yes. So when is it?
Well, let me talk about that. So it's coming up in April. So we're about roughly 3 weeks maybe away. So April 17th and 18th. It's going to start on a Friday and then also Saturday. We do have VIP section where we're going to have your own space, your own room. We have a VIP dinner. There's going to be some amazing things going on there. We'll have a book signing with Lisa Bevere in that room. She'll speak a little bit extra. So there's a lot of opportunity that weekend. Man, just show up. Be ready. Have an open mind and be ready to learn and absorb and get some clarity on where you're going.
Yeah. That's such an important part.
Absolutely.
Showing up.
That's it. Just
Right?
show
Just
up.
get there. Just get there. Just
Yep.
show up. And then allow, right?
That's it.
Right, right.
And a lot of women, I think a lot of women are scared. They're scared to jump out. They're scared to, well, I don't know. I don't want to upset anybody, or I just want to be perfect, and I've got this and I've got that. There's hard seasons. There's mistakes. And there's a lot of roles that women do carry. So a lot of people forget, and a lot of women especially forget to do for themselves.
Yeah.
And this is that moment to do that, to have that courage, to have that where they can step out and say, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this for me so that I can help serve and better other people around me.
Right.
So,
Yeah, it reminds me of that Marianne Williamson quote, right? So I'm
Who is that?
Marianne Williamson.
Yeah.
She's been an author since I believe the 80s or 90s.
Really?
I think when she came out. She ran for, I think, governor of California at one point, or she was actually in the running for president at some point, not
Okay.
a couple terms ago.
Okay.
But I forgot the name of her book, and I am well known for chopping up quotes, right? So
I am too. It's
Yeah,
okay.
it's a
I
skill,
hear
right?
you.
Like-
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, what was her quote?
So it is.
I'm intrigued.
People are not so. The fear is not that they are not adequate for the world or not adequate for their dreams, but their actual fear is the light that they are able to shine, right? How bright that we fear our own brightness. We fear our own strength.
Okay.
So that often keeps people. Well, what you're saying, women have so much going on because they're constantly caring for others.
Right.
That's their default,
Yes.
right? So for them to expose themselves as truly powerful they are, it's scary because now once they flip that script, now they feel they're going to be looked upon as something different, right? Than what they are is just, and I think it empowers their naturalness to be givers.
Right.
Whereas kind of men. Another kind of quote, Donnie Brasco, right?
Yeah.
And it comes with cooking, right? With his wife's cooking. Donnie Brasco's his mafia partner, Al Pacino's character, forgot his name, but his wife is cooking, and she's cooking for the whole family, right? Everybody, right? And that's what a woman does. When she prepares a meal, it's not just for her, right?
It's for everybody.
For everybody, right? But he's saying no. When a man cooks, it's for him.
Yeah.
He wants it to taste good. It's got to have a certain seasoning and done the a certain way because it's his to give.
Yeah.
Not here it is so y'all can stay alive and be filled with nutrients.
Right. Well, women are nurturers,
Yes.
right? So
Yeah.
most women give back and do, and a lot of women struggle with that identity, kind of with, I guess it goes a little bit with similar with that quote, who you are and what you've experienced. Those are two different things.
Yeah.
So your experiences don't necessarily determine who you are. I think it's a choice that you make. So who am I? You can have bad experiences. You can have a bad childhood. You can have all the things. But who are you today?
Right.
What are you going to become? What are you going to pour back to your kids, to your others, to people around you, to your friends? And so finding that identity, a lot of people struggle with that. A lot of women struggle with that.
Right.
And man, that weekend's going to help with that, I think.
Absolutely.
It's going to give a lot of clarity in that, a lot of clarity in your identity and who you are, and have you focus and zone in on that. Just because I went through this and just because that happened, that doesn't necessarily tell me that I'm a bad person. Like, who am I inside?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, and so when a woman's giving, right, giving to kids, husband, family, community, right, it's so much giving. But you're right. Like, where is that? Where's the cycle come back? Where does the fulfillment?
Yeah. How are you going to
If
refill
it's-
your cup?
Right, because oftentimes we know, right, when you're a giver, it's not always appreciated.
Right.
Oftentimes it's not appreciated.
It's true.
So the giver has to be strong on both ends.
Right.
One, to let go to be able to give, but also to be okay in not receiving the fulfillment. It has to come from somewhere else, right? An internal. I think that's the identity you're talking about.
Right.
Right. A woman has to feel comfortable in her own energy, in her own space. Just like I think humans need to, that'd be a great way for a human to live, right? Feel comfortable in your own energy, in your own space. But this conference is going to, they're going to be surrounded by other people, other ladies who
Other
are going through
empowered
similar.
women.
Yes,
That's right. A
Absolutely.
room full of women. I talked the other day to someone, and they said, "What do you feel like women need? What do you think this is going to do?" And I said, "Women need people in their corner. Women need other women to have their back. This room is going to have that. This room is going to have so many women that have either been through worse things as you, maybe not as bad of things as you, but they have your back. They see you. You will be seen. They can relate to you. You will find someone in that room, no matter what you've been through, no matter what you're going through right now, that you can talk to." So that networking of those other women. And with this community in Midland, Odessa, then you're going to meet some people. You're going to have people in your corner, and you're going to have people for you.
Yeah.
And so that's what this is going to bring.
And that's so important.
When
women.
I've heard Lisa speak and some of the other speakers, we have like 12 other speakers coming.
Wow,
From
nice.
all over the country. We've got the emotional side of things, how we all make emotional decisions and how that can be a real good thing, or that can also be a bad thing. And we have just a full faucet from women in politics even, which that's kind of a taboo area
Right.
these days, but it's so important, right? Just for where we go as a country, where we go as a nation, where we go as a world as well. And I think that from what I've seen with the ladies that are coming, they all have worth. Not that they've been that they've got it all figured out per se, but that they've found their worth in life. And I've been married now for 37 years, and there's times in all of our lives where we feel where we don't feel as valued. And I think if people that are listening here and watching this, I think they struggle with their own self-worth. I think that's core to everything. You and I've even spoke about it the other times we've been together, is the value of our worth and how that creates what we believe and how we think and then how we act. And ultimately that controls our future. And in our future, what we're currently even doing right now, all three of us here, it's going to show back up in our future.
Absolutely.
So the now is going to show back up in our future. And I think this event with the ladies all being there, I'm totally pumped about it. This is probably one of the most exciting conferences that I've been able to see develop, and I'm so excited for here in 3 weeks, just getting the ladies in the room to be able to raise everybody up, because all the ships go up when the tide comes
Yes.
in.
That's it.
And I think the goal of the place that's out there at our event center, La Luz,
La Luz.
which actually means the light.
Yeah.
And regardless what people may believe or think, wherever they are in their life, spiritually, mentally, physically, relationally, professionally, we want them just to come onto the property and when they leave, to be better. To
Absolutely.
thinking some new
That's it.
thoughts,
Yeah.
to having some new beliefs, and beliefs of empowerment and enlightenment. And so that's why Tina's been planning this for probably almost a year now, probably a little bit over a year we've been
It's been a
talking about
while.
this.
Yeah.
And so seeing it come to fruition,
Yeah.
oh,
Oh, it's a
brother,
beautiful thing.
man.
Yeah.
Oh, Tina's done a great job of putting this whole thing together. Yeah. She's been very courageous.
Huge team.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Huge team. But it, there's, like Dan talked about, there's ups, there's downs. And so having courage to get through that is definitely something that you have to find deep within yourself.
So speaking of courage,
Oh,
when was the last time you were on a horse?
Decades. I can't even remember the last
it wasn't
time.
yesterday?
It was not
Are
yesterday.
you sure about that? I could have sworn I saw
You
you,
saw
up
me
and
out
down
there?
there. Yeah.
Poor
I thought I
horse.
did.
Poor horse.
Yeah.
Tell us about the very first time you were on a horse.
It was in Mexico. It was at it's a lake. It's a huge lake just south of Guadalajara.
Okay.
We were there. We were having like a family vacation. It was actually like a little family reunion.
How old were you?
Had to been 10, 11, something like that. I had always heard stories. My grandfather was a horseman, right? So my grandfather's brother, they're from Marathon, Alpine area,
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
right? So
Rugged
back in-
area.
yeah.
Rugged area.
cowboys out
Yeah,
there, right?
real
So,
cowboys.
back in the day, my grandfather and his brother, they were basically, if a rancher could not break a horse, that's who they would call in and to break the horse, because
Right.
none of their guys could do it.
Yeah.
So they would call them in special occasions for special horses.
Did you ever break a horse?
Oh,
Or did the horse break you?
yeah, I got broken. So I always heard stories of how our family was tied into horses, but growing up, I never was around it. I
Okay.
never saw it, right?
Okay.
It's just from the past, stories, from the past. So I remember getting on the horse and my dad telling me, "Hey, just like your grandpa." And I was like, "Yeah, I want to be like grandpa."
Yeah.
It was a great experience.
No accidents. You didn't fall
No,
off.
didn't
Were you
fall
scared
off.
to fall off? Like,
Yeah, because
was that like
once
a
you
big fear?
Feel the bones coming up, and you feel the animal. You're like, as a kid, I was just scared. But after
You were
a
what?
while-
You were scared?
Oh yeah.
Was the horse a big horse or a small horse?
Well, to me, it was huge.
Yeah, 10, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're 10, so
Yeah.
anything's going to look massive right
So
now.
now I couldn't tell if it was a full grown or a mule or what. I
Yeah.
just know at the time it was pretty big. But yeah, no, and then that was it. I never got on a horse again. Yeah.
Well, I'm here to tell you about our guest, Tina, today.
Oh.
She's quite the horseman.
Yes, I've
I
heard.
mean, she is, and she's been doing it for a long time, even her parents and everything else. And, there's people that sit there and ride a horse, but there's people that ride a horse, and she's one of those. You should see her run. Matter of fact, I'll show you some footage of it. And,
Yeah.
and it's passed down to her daughters. I mean, we're talking, how old are the girls?
8 and 11.
They're on these monster horses, and they're running as fast as the horse will go. And
Yeah.
Tina, she'll take out of the chute. She does roping, she does barrel racing, and she's so fast. She's so fast. And were you ever scared of a horse, or?
Always.
Always.
Well, not always. So when I was younger, I didn't really have any fear. However, what my dad and we weren't very rich. We had no money, but we wanted to rodeo. And so my dad trained horses, and he'd get a couple of horses in, and we kind of got problem horses, I guess you could say, right? And so there was a time that we got a horse in, and his name was, I called him No Stop Roman, because he would not stop. He'd go in the arena and he'd just hot lap the arena. So for the longest time, my dad said, no, you cannot ride this horse. It's too scary. It's this. I said, no, I can do it, Dad. He says, no. I said, well, it's fine. No, it's not. Okay. So finally, after multiple times convincing, he let me ride this horse. And I got on him, and I mean, we hot lapped, and I screamed, hot lapped. And I'm not talking a little bit. I'm talking racehorse to barrel horse to now it's a runaway racehorse, barrel horse in the arena. Okay? Like all these
Good thing it
facets,
was in an arena.
It was in an arena. As my dad's screaming at the alleyway, whoa, try to stop this horse, whoa. And I probably weighed, I was tiny. I might have weighed 40 pounds.
How old were you?
Oh, I was probably 8, 9.
Oh,
Same as my
okay.
youngest
Yeah.
daughter now. I mean, I was little. She's little too. So hot lapping. And I'm screaming, scared to death. Finally, they get this horse shut down. And it was one of those deals of, okay, are you okay? I was like, I'm fine. Your heart's racing. And it's like, oh my gosh. And then it's the next weekend, and it's another rodeo. And it's, hey, you're going to ride this one now. Oh.
Now the fear
Whoa.
comes in.
Well, I don't know. And my dad, hey, you need to dig deep. You need to have that courage. You need to step up there. You need to let that fear go. You need to get past that. And you either get on, and if you don't get on, you'll never get on again. You've got to overcome that. And you've got to get past that. And that taught me a lot of things in life as well, Still to this day, I don't like to branch out and do things that are crazy. I like very structured stuff. But either way, that when I was younger incorporated into everything now. After kids, I rode a horse 8 months pregnant, and I was still riding. I told my husband, I said, I'm going to go run barrels. And he says, no. And I said, it's fine. Have a little faith. It's going to be all right. God's going to take care of me. It's going to be okay. And he's like, well, I don't think that's a good idea. And I said, no, it'll be fine. Okay. And I thought I was going so fast, y'all. I thought I was cruising. But I was so worried about my belly and my stomach. I came out and I said, okay, that was it. I'm done. You know, but I did it.
Yeah.
And I had that courage and I had that faith and I knew that it was going to be okay. So I've dealt with that my entire life, and I try to put that into my kids too.
Yeah.
You know, for sure. So
Stepping through courage. I mean,
Absolutely.
through fear to, with courage.
yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
The BAM BizTalk podcast is brought to you by Power Funding Limited, the leader in cash flow solutions for growing businesses. If your business is waiting 30, 60, even 90 days to get paid, but your expenses can't wait, Power Funding Ltd has the solution. They specialize in invoice factoring, helping you turn unpaid invoices into immediate working capital. That means same-day funding, no startup fees, and access to up to 98% of your invoice value so you can keep your operations moving without delay. From trucking and oil field services to staffing and manufacturing, Power Funding supports businesses across industries with fast, flexible funding designed for real growth. And the best part, it's not alone. It's your money, just faster. Stop letting slow payments control your business. Take control of your cash flow today. Visit powerfundingltd.com or call 432-235-3167 to get started. Power Funding Limited, giving you the power to grow.
Yeah, there's this quote I heard not long ago. I'm not going to chop this one up. This one I'm going to get right on. But it's you got to drive through the smoke.
Oh, that's good.
Right?
I like it.
Like in a race, smoke everywhere. If you try to turn, you hit the brakes.
Yeah.
You will get in a wreck.
That's it.
Somebody's coming behind you. You're going to roll. So you just got to
Keep going.
get that fear, pull that courage up, and go through it.
Yeah.
Same thing. You got to get on that saddle.
That's it. You got to just keep doing it.
You got to break the
You
fear.
know, there's a lot of people that I talk to, and they always come and tell me, and they say, man, I rode a horse once, and, I fell off, or I rode a horse once, and it bucked, and I couldn't even tell you how many times I have ridden a horse and it's bucked. Still to this day. This last weekend, Sunday, actually, I went and roped, and I hadn't ridden my horse in quite a while, and my husband says, oh, you're going to enter this roping. And I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to embarrass myself. It's been so long. But I get on and I dally and I head. And so I dallied and I'm going across and she's bucking all the way across. And I said, oh, this is all right. Okay, here we go, But it's just kind of one of those things that's easy for me. But then I talk to people and they say, man, I've never been on a horse. I'm scared. I don't even want to walk out to a horse. Well, it tried to bite me. It pinned its ears. It did this. And, don't have that fear. It's all right.
Yeah.
But.
So, in today's thing, I'm kind of picking up on a few things where this conversation's going is courage, but then the opposite of that is fear.
That's right.
I mean, we can take that into business. We can take that into marital, any type of relational, whether it's friend, a professional, even as far as the financial world.
Yeah.
Having the fear. I mean, can we maybe try to park
Absolutely.
here for a couple minutes?
Sure.
Yeah,
So let's go back to the horse. Do you remember when you first saw a horse? Were you kind of afraid? I mean, how did you identify and kind of bring it into the now? I think this may be a good talking point by identifying where your fear comes from. So did that start just on the visual, even though the horse was 30 yards away? Where did the fear kind of?
I would say a visual, especially like most people. I didn't know any better. Most people have that's big, that's large. How do I control
It's strong.
that? It's strong. It's what do I do? It's gonna step on me. It's gonna bite me. It's huge. Probably like how an ant sees humans. They're like but I think it starts with a visual. I think you're exactly right.
So then how did you, so after you got kind of used to seeing the horses at a young age, when you started going up and touching it, and then what about the saddle? Because I remember the very first time I put on a saddle, I had this horse named RD. He won first place in show in Utah and in New Mexico, and he was 17 hands, 17 and a half
That's
hands
big.
tall. It was a big horse,
Yeah,
big
that's
quarter
big.
horse. And I remember the very first time, it's like, I had to almost throw the saddle up. It wasn't just put the saddle on, I had to throw it up. He was so big, I was kind of afraid even just cinching him up and everything because he was so big, you know, and I'd never been on him before.
No.
You know, so I think by looking at the horse, you know, addressing it, that I'm fearful of that, but then kind of conquering that, but then going to the next steps, you got to kind of start stepping into your fear by taking it, you know, for me, it was just throwing the saddle up. And then the next part of, wow, I got to reach underneath
Get the
the
courage.
horse. I had to get the courage.
Yeah.
I had to get the courage just to, and then you get up there near its head and you got to start putting in the bit, and he doesn't want to open his mouth. He or she doesn't want to open the mouth, and just going through all that. And then you got to climb up on the thing.
That's where that gets a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
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 But you got to take it in increments.
But
Sometimes.
that goes to life too, doesn't it?
Exactly.
Wow.
Step by step.
Wow. That there's important. I was reading a statistic, and I read a long time ago, but it gave out the list of people's top 10 fears. And, you know, it had sharks. From what I remember, it had water, fire. It had dying. Dying, I think, was number 2. But you know what the number 1 was?
Scorpions. I'm just kidding.
Scorpion.
I don't like scorpions.
That's your number 1?
Yeah.
But I guess across wherever they took the statistic from, I probably need to look it up, but speaking in front of others.
Yeah.
Speaking for, I mean, Angel, people much rather die
Right.
before they speak on a stage or give some type of preliminary lesson or some type of financial debriefing to the staff. And I thought that was so funny.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, wow, speaking. I mean, I like to speak. You like to speak. Tina likes to speak. But even
Now.
then, yeah, now, exactly. Now.
I
You
did
put the
it.
saddle on the horse.
Because we've thrown the saddle on, we've, you know,
Yeah.
figuratively, we've been able to do those things. And, you know, I just now thought of when I was born in El Paso, and we were living over there on the east side of town. And, you know, when it was bedtime, I was probably like 6, 5, 4, maybe younger. And when my parents would come in, I had a little night light, but they would close the door. You know, that little night light just wasn't light enough. But you hear all the sounds in the house, you know, and I would think there was a monster under my bed. And I would slowly, you know, I'd put my head over my covers, but then I got enough courage to not throw them back over, you know. And then, you know, isn't that kind of life is? We see something and we just kind of want to throw the blanket over it.
Yeah.
But then I can remember the very first time, I can even see it now, where I kind of scooted off the edge of the bed and kind of looked real quick, and there was nothing underneath the bed.
Yeah.
And then I'd do that again. And I don't know how many times I did. I probably, but, you know, the following week or two, I probably did a couple times, but so many times we're afraid of nothing.
That's it.
We are afraid of nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, can you think of a time in your life where you had all this fear built up, either as an adult or how about even as an adult, where you were afraid of something, you just didn't know what you didn't know, and you kind of looked underneath the bed per se, and there was nothing there? Can you think of something like that?
I almost on a daily basis.
Bam, bam.
Yeah, I like
it is, you know, especially when you're growing.
Yeah.
Especially when you're
Like
it's
in
like-
business or something, or
business and personal.
okay,
Right? You know, because I truly believe that a business is a vehicle for personal growth and development. Right? I don't think there's anything better to mechanically help you grow. You know, a vehicle outside of yourself just for the sake of growing. Oh, now I have this entity. You know, because when you create a business, that's your baby.
Right.
It is a baby, and you have to nurture and take care of it until it can go off on its own.
Flourish.
Right? So yeah, business. I equate that a lot. My personal and my business, because I really feel my business is me, in a lot of ways. So yeah, there's a lot of unknown when there's being comfortable, right? Just cruising along, and then there's reaching out for what you have not yet treaded on before, right? I say, oh, well, this is new territory. If I take the wrong step, you know, you start feeding yourself with the fear. If I take a wrong step, it could doom everything. Okay, now, you know, you become timid. You become, oh, do I? Or, you know, I don't have 100% of the information, but I'm gonna have to be okay with 80%, right? Or whatever that is. So that other 20%, that's an unknown. So am I good with going forward? Am I gonna trip the wire? You know, am I gonna cause the explosion? Well, let's find out, you know, and go. And oftentimes, when you are bold enough to take the step, right? Sometimes you get bit, but it's not the end of the world.
True.
You know, and so what that does is that helps ease the fear, right, or erases it for that moment, right? Okay, now what's the next obstacle?
Yeah, baby steps.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This episode of BAM BizTalk is brought to you by Flash Mobile. Whether you're managing your business, chasing your dreams, or just handling life on the go, Flash Mobile gives you nationwide for GLTE coverage. No contracts and total freedom, all at a price that makes sense. Activate your plan in minutes. Bring your own device. Stay in control wherever life takes you. Contact us and make the switch today. And now let's get back to today's show.
Just like Dan was talking about the horse, you know, it took him a minute. Like, he finally got up there, and then he put the saddle on, and then he was like, okay, well, if I'm ever going to get to the end game, your end goal, I'm going to have to get the girth. I'm going to have to reach underneath this horse. And if I'm ever going to ride this horse, my end goal, I'm going to have to figure out how to put the bit on. You know, like business and overcoming those fears are the same thing. You've got to take this little step. Well, what's your end game? What's your end goal? You know, what's your purpose here? And so what did God create you to be, and what is your purpose on this earth to do? So now we've got to take these little bitty steps to do that and say, nope, we're still fighting for that end goal. And so that's part of it. It's with everything. It's with business. It's with life. It's with animals. It's with sharks and scorpions, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, you know what
I got an
what
exterminator.
I heard her say. You know, I've learned along the way, not just listen to what people are saying, but what did I hear them say, and what does that say to me? I heard preparation in what she was just talking about. You know, and I mean, we broke it down to a horse.
Yeah.
You got to prepare the saddle. You got to put on a blanket first. I can remember one of my first memories of Tina. Tina's spoken on stage a few times, and I've had people come up and saying, "Oh, Tina's so good. She's made for the stage, and she's so interactive. She's so happy." And you know, she's had to prepare for that.
Yeah.
But it's so much more than just doing the hair, taking care of the outer appearance, because they didn't see her the days before preparing, asking questions, kind of thinking out, getting and that's life too. Wouldn't you say that preparation is probably about everything?
Preparation is absolutely everything. I try to watch videos. I try to study this, and I'll tell you that I never wanted to speak in front of anyone. I took speech class in college. Who knew, right? And here I am talking.
Wouldn't know that now, would we? And here she is now.
Thanks to Dan's coaching. So, yeah. I never wanted to do any of that. Well, I also announce a couple of team ropings, and I've announced a few bull ridings.
Well, what do you mean announce?
Just call some names out and some times and just small scale stuff.
Oh, yeah. Did you know that she does rodeo announcing?
Oh.
For like when the cowboy comes out of the chute and goes or rides the bull. Could you give us a sample?
I can't
would
do
you
the
please?
samples.
I think the leaders, don't you think the listeners would really want to hear?
That's a really particular skill set.
It is.
Not a lot of people.
Not
It
a
is.
lot of people want to do it.
Yeah, but I think a lot of the listeners would probably want to kind
I
of
think it would be
hear.
very appreciative.
So would you like a cowboy or a cowgirl?
Oh, we'll have to have
Oh,
a
we're gonna do
cowgirl.
so much at
I think a lady, a cowgirl.
A cowgirl.
Yeah.
Cowgirl.
What would you like the horses? Do you want to do? Yeah.
Sandy. I like the horse Sandy.
Sandy.
Yeah,
That
Sandy.
works. That works.
And what color boots would?
Boots.
And yeah, well,
He's making me a script right now.
yeah.
Well, this is the challenge.
Yeah.
This is the preparation for stage.
But you got to be instant in, season out. When life throws you a curve,
Get
it goes
ready.
back to your past preparation. Oh, this is turning in good today.
We're getting deep over here.
As we were on our way over here, we go, what can we bring to Angel's listeners who Angel values so much? What do we have? But it's forming right now.
Yeah, right now.
So we got a horse named Sandy. We got a cowgirl.
I gotta write this stuff down.
What is the
I'm gonna take some
cowgirl's
notes
name?
here.
Cowgirl's name. Let's see.
It needs to be a good one.
Yeah. How about I don't know, Casey?
Casey, the cowgirl. What color boots is Casey wearing?
How about white?
White?
Yeah, white.
Kind of like a pearl white?
Yeah, there
Pearl
you go.
white?
My
I like
daughter
that.
just bought white boots. I
There
can
you
run
go.
with
Really?
that. I
There you
like
go.
it.
And
Yeah.
Yeah.
would you, let's see, would you like a clown just in the way, a clown named Rusty?
There you go. There's got to
Okay.
be a clown in the
Rusty
mix.
the Clown.
Okay, I think that would,
That's 3. I got a lot going on right now
Okay,
in my little new rodeo.
Does the horse?
and this is their family-owned rodeo arena,
Okay.
okay?
Ah.
Okay, if she hits all of them, I'll give you $10.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay, if she misses
So
it.
you're on my side now,
if,
right?
if she misses it, you give me 20.
Oh.
Oh.
Do you want to do a 10
Oh my
and
gosh,
10?
no pressure.
Huh? You want to do a 10 and 10?
10 to 10 sounds
We're
good.
giving her a couple seconds to prepare.
All right. Okay.
So 10 either way. If she hits them all, if she gets all of them, I give you 10. If she misses
Oh
one,
man, I'm starting to get nervous now.
Okay.
So
All right.
so we got a cowgirl named,
Sandy.
no, that's
No, the horse
Oh,
is Sandy.
Sandy.
Casey is
Casey
the cowgirl
cowgirl,
wearing
okay.
white
White
boots,
boots.
and Rusty the Clown's in the middle of the arena at the Boots and Spur family owned and operated arena.
Okay.
Why?
Yeah.
That's what we're rolling
I think I
with?
better, I probably need to go and grab my wallet.
Go ahead and get your wallet out, Dan. Are you re- are you-
Okay, would you
okay.
like to throw on 2 more? We'll do it.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Okay.
We
I'm sorry, listeners, but we just kind of spun
Yeah.
off. But,
Dan's got it. We
but you
did.
have to be ready, and getting fearful over the unknown. Did you know most of the things in life that you're afraid of never really happen? I can remember having a fear. I'm giving you a couple of seconds to prepare.
Oh, okay, thanks.
You know, I used to be afraid of what people were thinking about me or what people were saying about me. And the older, I'm 62 now, I've really come to discover that they really weren't thinking about me to begin with. And they really weren't talking about me, but through my fear and through my low worth, my low value of myself,
Yeah.
I thought everything went to the negative, bro. But when we understand our worth and our value, we start conquering those fears.
Yes.
And it's just remarkable. It's remarkable. Well, I believe, she's one of the best things about our company that we have together. She's just a powerhouse. We're all learning and growing, and even at the difference of our ages, we're still all learning and growing. And yours too, we're still,
Absolutely.
but that's what we can come together on. We can understand that we all have a little bit of fear, but that's where the power of encouragement from people who've been there can kind of help us along. And that's why mentoring and coaching is so important in our world today.
Absolutely.
So with that being said, would you like to give her the countdown?
I think we're ready.
Oh
Okay.
man!
Where-
Do I
where
need
we
to do
start
this
at?
like crazy weird radio voice,
Oh, absolutely.
like announcer voice?
Yeah.
I don't know how it's going to sound on
Let's-
your podcast.
oh,
But it
it's
could be a
gonna
little rough.
it's gonna be
Let me
great.
get some water here. Get
She's
myself
good.
prepared.
She's good.
And where's the countdown? Where do I start at? Is that 5 or 3 or?
I don't know. I've been doing it all weekend, so my voice is a little hoarse. Okay.
Okay, here we go. We started at 5, right?
Oh Lord,
All
help
right,
me.
5.
Here we go.
3, 2.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome you to Boots and Spurs Rodeo Arena. We're here, and our first contestant is going to be Casey Bam.
Bam.
White boots is what she's wearing, and she's on a horse named Sandy. Sandy's the horse, and here she comes down the alleyway. Oh, wait, hold up. Rusty, the clown, we need you out of the arena. We're going to get run over. Oh, here he comes. That's it.
That was good, wasn't it?
That was very good. That was very good. Wow. Yeah.
Oh, now
So
we're pulling
I'm a
20.
man of my word.
Now we're pulling it out.
You didn't want to double, so I had a 20. Can you make change?
I got you changed.
There you go, my brother.
That got you changed. Appreciate it.
But and you see the after effect of that. Even right there, she felt a little bit apprehensive. She said she'd been doing it all weekend, but there's still that moment of doubt.
Yes.
But she still persevered. And I tell you, if we just persevere just a little bit further,
Yeah.
and we just, even though you've done it before, there's those times where we have that little bit of doubt come
Yeah.
in, which it'll attach to your fear if you let it.
Yeah, if you let it.
But if you push right through it, and especially like in business,
Yes.
and, I know that you mentor a bunch of young adults and trying to encourage them to just get started. So you're never good the first time.
No,
You're
never.
never ever good.
And
the
you
first
have to
time.
get started to get good.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah, I just, one example, I had this client. She was wanting to start her own business, and it would have to do with events and with kids, and I was like, okay, and she was like, I've never done anything like this before. I've never had an event. I was like, oh, great, we're gonna throw an event.
There you go.
And we did out here in the patio, and
Yeah.
I had her find all the vendors, and then
Yeah.
talked about sponsorships. She found some sponsors, and
Yeah.
then she made the social media, the graphics, and the banners, and just walked her through the entire process. And she was scared the whole way through, right? But
Right.
she kept one foot in front of the other.
And you just
She
keep
kept going.
moving.
She just kept going, and by the end of it, she was like, "Oh my gosh, it worked."
And it
Like,
wasn't that bad.
It was, I'm still alive. The world didn't fall apart. It's
Yeah.
here. Everything's okay. So I think that was a huge step in just having her just go through the motions. Go through the motions, just push through it. Yes, scary, right? People are going to say this and that. Are they?
Are they? Probably not. By
And-
the law of the numbers, no, they aren't. They're too busy to
Right.
think about
They're
it.
thinking about themselves.
That's it.
That's everybody's in their own bubble. But yeah, I think it's preparation, right? Because even when there is that very tiny bit of apprehension right there at the end, it's knowing that that you can,
Yeah.
right? For instance, back in another lifetime, I was a recording performing artist, right? And we were.
Do you sing?
No,
Are you sure?
not sing.
He looks like a
cannot
singer,
carry
doesn't he? Like a
tune.
rapper?
Watch out, you're about to lose that $20 you just got.
Bam!
Yeah.
And we had already been doing it for a while, and we got a gig at Flamingo Cantina, downtown Austin. And when we showed up to the venue, we were the headliners. So we showed up to the venue, it was kind of empty. We went back into the green room and, waited for the show to start. And then they called us up. Well, we had, coming through a backstage, packed. Place was packed,
Oh, wow.
front row,
Oh,
all the way
man.
to the back door.
And your heart's racing.
Yes.
And you're
Yes.
fearful.
And I have the first song.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
and it's a live band. And then they start going, and I was like, I couldn't remember the first words.
Oh, no.
I was just, and there was that window of time right there. It might have been like 5 seconds, but it seemed like 30 minutes. It just felt like forever. And then I saw my bassist. He goes, it's about to drop, right? And I'm like, oh my gosh. And then I just went in and I killed it, right? I just stepped into it. I just
Yep.
stepped
Stepped
through
in.
that fear, right? And I felt the butterflies. But then I use that as like when I'm mentoring other artists who are in that position when I'm having a conversation. I was like, use those butterflies, use that anxiety that's bubbling up, use it as energy, right? And redirect that energy, right? Because I knew my words. I've done them 1,000 times,
Right.
whether already performing or in practice. I already knew it, right? So me not remembering, and then like right before I opened my mouth, that first word popped in.
Yeah.
And that's all I needed. Go, right? But that whole night is like electric because I stepped through that. It's probably one of the best shows we ever did. Because I think we were all feeling that.
Yeah, and you
spotlight's on
finally
now.
stepped through that fear barrier that you had.
Yes, yeah, and I use that today. Like when I get a chance to speak, and anywhere I'm out, I just okay. A lot of people, all right, step into it,
Yeah.
right? Because I'm prepared,
Yeah.
right? And I think that has so much to do with it. I've gone through the process.
Yeah.
I've put the saddle on that horse several times already. It was, all right.
Stepping into it. You mentioned it, and then you've mentioned it too. You just got to step into it. And how long has it been since you've ridden a bicycle? Has it been a minute?
Years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about you? When was the last time you rode a bicycle?
Well, I don't know how to ride a bike.
Oh, really?
Never have.
Well, I've tried. It hasn't gone well. So
Did she just say we just one upped her there? Huh?
y'all did indeed.
Wait, you can barrel ride a horse.
Yeah, I don't have any trouble with that. No, the bicycle thing is not for me.
Really?
Really?
Well, man, I appreciate
Yeah.
your transparency. You know how many people would be afraid to be embarrassed?
Yeah.
to say I don't know how to ride a bicycle?
That's why you heard the long pause.
Yeah.
I was trying to decide
I
if I should
appreciate
tell
your
y'all or
honesty.
not.
She had to think, to be honest, about it.
Yeah. I didn't know if I wanted to share that deep information.
I think it's helpful though.
Yeah, I think being transparent, talk about your fears with other. I mean, that's part of what I was thinking about, just being transparent, to be genuine and transparent. Does anybody think any less of you for not riding a bicycle? Well,
I'm sure
I
my
do, but
children
nobody
do,
else
and
does.
Jan.
But it's just like, is there any doubt in your mind that I could pull out a bicycle right now that you could get on and ride it?
No.
None,
Sure.
even though it's been a long time. Me too.
Yeah.
So that's just it with a lot of fear. Once you've mastered it, so to speak, once you've mastered the horse riding, like there's no way, even though I have a couple horses, there's no way I can ride like Tina. But however, after you've done it a few times, so after you go through some of the things, through experience, it can be a series of time and you just fall right into it. And I think that's really part of our calling, that we're called to be courageous. There's something within each one of us, and that you are called to be courageous, to be different from others. And why? So you can give to others, so you can empower them, so you can lend people your strength, so you can lend people their belief. So whatever that may be, they can learn to ride their own bicycle per se. And then when you mentioned stepping into it, I remember I was at the hospital here about a month ago. I was up visiting a friend, and I came back down, and the alarms start going off, woo, woo, real loud. And all of a sudden, I'm coming down the hallway there by the cafeteria, and all these people start running at me. I thought they were going to step all over me, knock me down. Well, I started stepping, going to see what it was. And when I saw what they were running away from, I didn't think it was that big of a deal. It was when it was cold here about a month ago. Okay. They've got the sprinklers around the outside doors. Apparently, I knew right away because this water's just flooding down over the doorways. Man. So I think one of the pipes had froze. Yeah. But people are running away from water,
Yeah.
And, I was kind of surprised nobody was grabbing a mop bucket right away, but somebody went to go get a mop bucket, but this water is coming down. And people, I went in and walked right on through the puddles. I walked on water.
Well, there you go.
Not the first person in history that did that. But I went in and walked right on through the water. When people were running the opposite direction from where they were wanting to go, they were running away from it. But isn't that like life?
Yes.
We have fears in getting started in business. We have fears on having that hard conversation with someone. Some of us business owners, it's hard to let somebody go. You know what I had a fear of? I was in the roofing business for about 40 years, and I've had several other companies. I'd go out and I'd do a job for somebody, and we'd do great. I always had a hard time going asking the people for the money. I don't know what that tension is, and I probably still got a little bit of that, but it's taken me 30, 40 years to get over that. I don't know. It's just, since I didn't, I was raised up with humble beginnings, but when you don't have a whole lot of money, it's kind of hard to go ask for it. And that there's me that I've had to work on through that. And I think that, if we can start overcoming some of these things, we didn't come in with any agenda today other than share our event. And then with women being courageous and being empowered and having different people speak into our lives. But could I ask your listeners a question? Maybe if they'd grab, you and I are both big journalers. Tina was writing stuff down. So I'd encourage your listeners, just grab a sheet of notebook paper, pen, and just, what fears have you recently faced? And how did you respond to them?
You know that in today's world, distraction is the enemy. The Deep Flow formula fuses human performance mastery with AI integration, helping you cut through the chaos, sharpen focus, and get more done in less time. In just one workshop, you'll learn how to turn stress into a repeatable rhythm of high performance, boost your creativity, and achieve clarity on demand. This isn't theory, it's a framework you can apply immediately. Call BAM Ventures, your business sidekick, at 432-247-8841 to step into your flow today.
The BAM BizTalk podcast is brought to you by our sponsor, Pachuco's Restaurant. Craving authentic and eclectic cuisine in Midland? Well, Pachuco's has you covered. Located in downtown Midland at the ever so legendary and iconic historic building at 316 North Big Spring Street, Pachuco's blends rich and unique flavors in a conveniently pleasant and vibrant atmosphere. Enjoy the highest quality barbecue, savory tacos, burgers, and a variety of other mouth-watering dishes that reflect the spirit of a true Pachuco cuisine. Real, authentic, and just plain different. Check out their menu at www.pachucos432.com or call 432-218-8806 to inquire, or better yet, just show up and get your shine on at Pachucos, where heritage, exquisite taste, and hospitality come together for an unforgettable dining experience. Pachucos, Midland, Texas. Now back to the show.
I mean, Tina, can you think of a fear that you've faced recently, like over the past year or two? And how are you responding to that? Or how did you respond to that? Can you think of something as our listeners are kind of thinking about their fears that they may have had recently?
Probably one of my biggest fears would be speaking in front of people.
Still.
Not so much now as it was. My kids, I don't want anything bad to happen to them.
Oh, that, yeah.
That's huge for me. I pray every day, every morning, every second, every minute. My kids ride horses. My kids go to the barn by themselves. I sit and watch
The
them.
snakes and scorpions.
And the scorpions are the worst. You could die from a scorpion. But that fear, that's awful. It's with me. And I just push through it. I said, God's going to do everything he can to protect me and my kids and our family, and I'm going to continue to pray and have that faith, and I'm going to push through this. And so that's a fear that I have as a mother, and I know that a lot of women probably have that fear as well. You don't want anything to happen to your kids.
Will change in the unknown.
Yeah.
I mean, and that doesn't mean you're a bad person because you have fear, but what's it going to look like if you continue to fear these things?
Yeah.
How has that formed your life? And so that's kind of my next question for you. Can you think of a fear maybe back 10 years ago that you had, Angel? And how did you respond to that? And how has your response either held you captive? And how is that, or overcoming that fear, has that led to freedom? Because that's what fear does. It holds you captive where you don't do anything. If anything, you run away or regress.
Yes.
Okay, can you think of a time in your life? You're looking like you got a good one.
I got one.
You got one? What was it?
So it's getting into the business consulting world, right?
It's a tough. That's tough here. You know, I've spoke about this numerous times.
I had no background, right? Previous to that, before I had attempted to run my own businesses and failed miserably, right? But so who was I to say, oh, I can talk to you about your business?
Well, the fear of limiting belief now comes up. Limiting belief.
Yeah, and I was blocking myself, and I was so scared because I got asked to be a consultant at the Small Business Development Center, at SBDC. I was offered the job, kind of out of the blue. I'm like, me? I mean, I know I have a business degree, but consultant,
That go back to your worth or your value that
Absolutely.
in your heart you had on yourself?
I was like, I didn't feel that I was qualified, right? So who am I to, I started asking all these questions. I have a cousin who was actually, that was her job. She was a SBDC in another town. So I called her and I'm like, hey, cuz I just got offered this job and I don't know. And she was like, oh, you'll be great. She was just, blowing me, say, you'll just, I believe
You'll kill
in you.
it. She believed in you more than what you did yourself.
Yes. And the person who asked me, to take the job, he believed in me more than anybody else I can remember. He ended up being my business partner who started BAM,
wow.
right? So,
and I'm not trying to interrupt, brother. We're just talking here.
Absolutely.
We're just cutting up. So these people lent you their belief, and they had more faith in you than what. Isn't that ironic?
Yeah.
how that even happens with all of us even today, even the listeners.
Yeah.
Wow. So is it important for you to surround yourself with people that...
One of Michael's favorite quotes was like birds of a feather flock together. Show me who your friends are. I'll tell you who you are. Right.
Yeah.
So, who do you surround yourself? Who's your team? Who's your circle of influence?
And who's in your corner?
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Who's backing you up? Who's pushing you forward? Who's
Yeah.
in your corner?
Yeah.
Just like Dan talked about lending out his courage. And then I spoke about earlier about women need people in their corner to raise them up and lift them up. My biggest deal is people climb, lift as you climb.
Yes.
Lift
That's
others
good.
up as you climb. Don't just be climbing and, oh, well, hey, how's the weather down there?
Yeah.
But in his case, he was having to be not lifted, but pushed.
That's it. And it goes back to
I
the
do some-
people that are in your
Yeah,
corner.
yeah.
Pushed.
Yeah.
So you had your
Goes
cousin
back to
kind of
who's
lifting
in
you,
your
and you had
corner.
Michael pushing you.
Yeah.
Well, how did you respond to all that? And what was the outcome?
So the outcome is I accepted the job. I took on the job and just started learning. I
Did you
dove in.
learn through some failures along the way?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And I think my failures beforehand of running, 4 businesses simultaneously, right? Like that was an epic failure that I always look back on. Even today, right? I look back on that. I was like, I wasn't prepared. Preparation. I was
There you
not
go.
prepared to run those businesses.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, I can own a business. 1 + 1 is 2, right? I know math.
Yeah.
But it's not that easy, right?
Right.
And so, yes, accepting that job and then digging into why I failed. What were the reasons for that failure?
That's good.
And how could I have changed things, right? If I were to go back. But now it's going forward. It's like, okay, well, I'm not going to make those mistakes again.
Right.
I'm just looking for new mistakes,
Yeah.
right, to overcome, right? Fear, push past the fear, learn what to do and learn what not to do. And, it's growth, right? It's the constant growth, constant learning, constant being open to knowing that I don't know it all.
Right.
I think that's what that fear is, right? Because in my perspective of everything that I know, that's on the other side of that. So do I want to step over that boundary and look, Well, yeah, now I do. Now I'm like, okay, let's go. Let's jump. I want to jump now. And that's what.
So has it gotten a little bit easier?
Yeah, it has.
I mean, you still got to use a level of wisdom and discernment.
Absolutely.
You still got to ask a lot of good questions. You just don't. It's not fearless abandonment.
Right.
Where, I mean,
Right.
you still load a parachute, right? When
Yes.
you jump out of the plane. I mean, and you double check the parachute. Yeah. So there is preparation in that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So let me ask both of you a question. Can I ask a question real quick?
Oh, please.
And also ask for the listeners listening. And thanks so much for being here today. This is kind of just a conversation. It's kind of just molding as we go.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I believe that it's a great topic today.
Yeah, I like it.
Can you think of a person that you admire the most, either now or past? What qualities do you think they possess that help them overcome some of their fears? And so as you're thinking about that, and how can you apply one of their qualities to help give you some strength that they can lend you their strength even now? So think of a person you admire the most. Mine was probably my grandfather. Came through World War II. They moved to Bisbee, Arizona. He was a miner working in a miner field, and just the simple discipline of getting up, going to work every day. And then my other one would be my dad. A great provider, great loving dad. Just the courage of it. He's 94 now, and he still gets up every day. He does his stock market, still has a way how he goes through, drinks his coffee, and watches the news and does investing. And the way how he shares his wisdom, just about every night I go over for 20, 30 minutes. And he's still pouring into me at 94. And it's just amazing.
Yeah.
And the admiration I have for him. And then one of the, I used to be a bivocational pastor. I resigned here about 3-4 years ago to do what my passion is this. His name was Wayman Swopes out there in Greenwood where I live. And he was just so always encouraging. He'd be in the middle of his study, and I'd just stop in, and even though I wanted to go and talk to him, he'd see me and say, "Hey, come on in here," and he'd push his stuff away. And just having that time for people where he would shepherd me, mentor me, ask me good questions that would help me think. I mean, and so I think that's probably been a major attribute in my life, is having a creative spirit to think. To think, because so many, we've all been around a lot of people that just don't think a whole lot,
Right.
because they're so devalued, so unworth. I think a lot of thinking. So have either one of you thought of somebody in that space that you can think of?
Yeah, I would definitely say my family is that. My husband, huge. My husband gives me courage every single day. My husband pushes me every single day. My husband also humbles me every day. So he's my biggest everything, I would say. I struggle with things, or I'm lacking in this, and he gives me that boost, and he gives me that push. And he's always behind me, and he's always got my back, no matter what. Even if I'm wrong, yes, he'll tell me I'm wrong, for sure. And then I go, "Man, you're right." He's like, "Oh, yeah, say that again." Like most men, right? As y'all laugh. Come on now, y'all know. Yeah, so that, and then my grandparents. My grandfather passed away a few years back. He was the happiest man, as far as I knew growing up, my entire life, that was the happiest man I had ever met. It didn't matter how bad things were, how broke they were. It didn't matter if they couldn't do this or couldn't do that. He smiled. He was happy. And any kid or grandkid or person that came in, he says, "You just grab you some of that candy. You put a smile on your face, and you go back out there and you do it. You give them anything they want. You just go. Go for it. Make it happen."
Wow.
That's huge. Yeah. That's how my granddad was. And my grandmother's like, now, but the grandparent thing, but those were probably the two biggest things, the biggest parts of my life.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I've got a humbling story about your husband. If you ever need it, I'll tell it to you. That way you can.
I think you should tell it on the podcast, Dan, and then I'll make him listen. Oh man!
No, I'll be breaking the man code. I think.
Oh,
Because
okay.
what happens?
Yeah.
What happens down at the ranch stays at the ranch.
They'll be very grateful.
JW, I think you owe me for this one.
Yeah.
Because I don't mind announcing it. Matter of fact, if somebody just asked me to tell the story one more time, I won't do it. I won't do it. How about you, my
Well, yeah, I
brother?
want to hear yours, Angel.
Yeah, I think our grandparents do play a huge factor in our life, right? So my grandfather on my father's side, World War II, landed on the beaches of Normandy, right? Went in, and the only reason I'm alive is because he survived that. Right?
True.
But he brought a lot back with him. He went through it. But he had 12 kids. And he was a hard worker. He was a builder. He would build everybody's homes and carports and just great masonry work, right? He could do math with the, what do you call it?
Like Sudoku things?
No. Just like measuring, like he's gonna build a brick wall or something. He can measure out. I forgot the name of the.
Okay.
Yeah, but he could just use that, and he used to do lots of tricks with math.
Oh, with those rulers that would break
Yes.
down.
Yes.
Yes. That's an art to it. It just
is.
wasn't a measuring device.
Right.
Yep.
Right. But he was always very instilling, work ethic, integrity, right? Keeping your word. So he was a huge part of my life, right? When I was younger. My grandmother, right? When you were talking earlier and you were saying, I wake up in the morning and I'm praying for my kids every hour, every second, like it's just like you're in constant prayer, right? So that was reminding me of my grandmother.
Yeah.
And we're still benefiting from her prayers. She passed away over a decade ago.
Yeah.
Right? Like, she kept the family together. She kept the family safe, right? That was our whole, like, grandma she just prays. She goes to church. She was 88, and she was still taking care of the funeral services at the local church.
Oh, wow.
I had a cousin from Houston who's my age. Well, she came down for a summer just to stay with grandma. And she was in her, I think, like late 20s or something at that time. She said grandma wore her out, running around church, taking care of people, taking care of everything. You know, she was like just amazing and an inspiration, right? And then, of course, like my father has always been like my rock ever since I was a kid. He's been my go-to, you know. Still, you know, he's about to hit 80. Every time I see him, he's pouring into me, just like you were saying. He pours into my sisters, their kids, you know, their grandkids. They're just pouring everything into him, and it's beautiful to see, you know, the example of what a man should be, you know, of what a family dynamic should be, right? It's great to see that example. Outside of my family, I had a friend, she was my best friend for 30-something years. And she had a multitude of medical issues with her. She passed away a couple years ago. And just the courage, bringing it back to courage, that she would show just living a day in her life, right? She had, I'm going to name a couple of things here, and I'm missing something. Right? There's just so much, right? Well, you know, the diabetes, high blood pressure, lupus, MS.
The health problems.
Yes.
Wow.
She had a curved spine, a tumor wrapped around her spine.
Oh, man.
That grew into, she had a tumor in the back of her eye. Constant pain, neuropathy.
Well, just even one of those.
Right, is a lot to deal with. But she had she was literally, her doctors were, you know, she's a case study, you know, for somebody to live so long with all of these ailments, you know. But she was one of the most positive, uplifting, you know, and she was very honest with me, you know, when she saw maybe if I didn't, you know, do something, you know, that she would let me know that, you know, hey, I think you could have done better.
Oh, that sounds like my husband. I know that's all good.
She's like, you can do better, you know, because I see you, I believe in you, and I think you can do better.
So even at that, she was lending you her belief and
That's
strength and power.
Yeah.
Boy,
Yeah.
and when here you and I, we complain about Whataburger messing up.
Yes.
They didn't put no pickles on mine.
Yeah, say it. Yeah. You know, I reflect back on her strength and her courage, and I still pull from it.
I was going to say, you still use it every day,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah.
Yeah, and even when you don't know you're using it.
That's a
Yeah,
great
because
point.
that helped mold you, and
Yeah.
that's pretty unique how people's past courage and the examples that we've believed in, that we've seen them, that we've believed it. That's a damn analogy.
I was like,
Word right
believed
there.
it. I'm like, that's good. It's good. We'll take it.
Yeah, because you've seen it, they lived it, but you've believed it. That's not bad. You might want to write
I
that.
know. It's in my head. I got it. I made
Yeah,
notes.
so today's discussion is kind of turning into about fear, kind of conquering your fear by being courageous. And so the first question was, what fears have you faced recently, and how did you respond? The second was, think of the person that you admire the most, and what qualities have you seen? And those were two great examples. So number three, and I'd like the listeners to write this down, listen first, and then maybe pause this and just write for just a couple of minutes. And, you know, nothing changes unless you do. So if you like the way how you're going, don't write it down. But if there's something that you may think that you may be able to get value out of this, why not work on yourself? I mean, we all want to get better. Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's coming. Nobody's here to take you to the next level, because you wouldn't be able to see the opportunity even if it was until you do some of these simple things. So the question is, what is one fear that you would like to conquer in the next year And what would be one little small micro step? You were talking about stepping out. So what's one fear that you would like to conquer in this next year, and what step or steps would you or could you take? I'm not saying you got to do the step. I'm just saying, what's one fear, even a small one? Let's just figure, you can pick financially, relationally, professionally. What's one step? And it could be as simple as you going and having a conversation with a coworker about how can you add more value, or maybe go and take that one step like, hey, Angel, what's it like to be on the other side of me? And then be quiet and listen. That's really a big move.
Yeah.
But let's not do that one. Let's just think, what would be one little small step that you could do that if you could conquer it, what would be one step that you could do? Can you think of a fear that either one of you may have?
I don't know how to ride a bike because I'm scared I'm going to fall off the bike. And I don't want to scrape my knee. As childish as that is, it's huge for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's the smallest thing. I ride the horses, I do the things, and I don't want to scrape my knee on the bike.
Like,
So,
So I bought a Peloton. I've already done that. I bought a Peloton. It stands.
there you
I've
go.
got a Peloton. It holds my clothes in my bedroom.
Training wheels, maybe I could try that as a grown
Yeah.
adult. I wonder how that would go. That's a good small step,
But
though, right?
you know, but you're already thinking, I get training wheels, everybody's going to make fun of me, but
I just shared I don't know how to ride a bike at 39 years old.
Yeah. And you're talking about putting training wheels, and even though I imagine you on that, and I'd be laughing. But you know what? There would be a day coming when the training wheel would go off.
Yeah.
But at least I got on the bike.
Yeah.
So that's a small step.
For sure.
But it would take buying a bike or getting a bike. That would be even a smaller step than training wheels. Why buy the training wheels without the bike? You see how
Breaking it down.
No, but that's what you have to do to get better. I mean, that's why you're in business, to help people get better.
Right.
That's what we do in our collaboration and being affiliated with each other. We're for people.
Yeah.
But this is what it looks like. You've got to break this down. And even though Angel would love to be sitting across from you, listener, or I would, or Tina would, you've got to be able to break this down.
Yeah.
And by writing it down, there's just something when you write it, when you hear it, you're working for yourself. You aren't working for your boss. You're working for yourself.
Yeah.
And this is what the hard work looks like.
Yes.
If you want to get better, if you want to get over some of your fears, we have to start acknowledging some of these things. So good job on that.
Thanks,
Yay.
Dan.
Yeah.
I'm sweating, y'all. I was
Yeah.
nervous. I had to
Yeah.
share that information.
So what would be the next step, though? You're saying, did I hear right? She's saying she would like to do that in the next year. Did I hear that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Here's a good time.
Ride a bike.
Entrepreneurs and small business owners, are you searching for ways of taking your business to the next level? BAM is your answer. We specialize in crafting high-performance marketing strategies that put your brand front and center right in the palm of your customers' hands. Not only can we create a premium website full of features that optimize your social media and digital marketing presence, but we ensure that your brand gets multiple views from your target audience and even those visiting your competition. BAM is your go-to solution in the Permian Basin. But we're not just about digital and social media marketing. We're a one-stop shop offering a spectrum of services including business mentorship, strategic planning, market research, and access to capital. That's right, we can get you funding to expand your business. With BAM, you're not just getting a service, you're gaining a partner committed to your growth for the life of your business. So why wait? Kickstart your journey to success today. Call us to set up a free consultation and discover how BAM can help your business soar above the rest. 432-247-8840. Call today and get your business launched.
But like we talked about earlier, that's my end goal. And then we do what we're doing now. We write it down, we break it down like Dan's talking about, and what's my first little micro step to that end goal. Like that saddle. You know, here we go. Our end goal is to ride that horse. So what are those little teeny tiny steps to get there to do that? Well, training wheels, Dan made a good point. Let's go back a little further. This is a very, well, you need to get a bike. Then you're serious. Then you've already put your investment in it, and you've invested into it. Your money, your time.
Yeah.
You went and picked one out. You got a little emotion behind it because it's
Yeah.
turquoise and white. No hints to my husband or anything. So,
Well, it goes to a statement. We are more often afraid of what others think of us than the failure itself.
Yeah.
We're more often, I often think about what others will think of me than what the failure is, when it goes back to what we originally said. Most people aren't thinking about you. You aren't that important
Right.
to them because they're, like you said, they're thinking about themselves.
Yeah.
yeah.
And then all the anxiety that comes with that. When I'm afraid of what people are thinking about me and how social judgment, being tried by people that don't have nothing to do with your life, and the anxiety. And then that inward desire where it really comes back from our self-worth, that desire for acceptance. She just wants to be accepted with all the other bicycle riders.
I just want to be able to ride a bike with my kids.
Yeah. Now, is that
Why not,
important?
right? Absolutely.
Heck yeah.
Huge.
And the memories. And the memories that can do. Well, what about you?
I think
What's
y'all are going to be
one thing?
surprised about this one.
Okay.
And so I've been saying that I'm going to do this already for a while, more than a year. I've been saying, okay, I need to start X, right? And I've done some one-offs, but I want to do it's constant, and I'm sure this is going to surprise you guys, or it might not.
I'm ready.
But I really want to put myself out there on a daily basis to talk about a specific topic surrounding my industry every day. Do a 3 to 5 minute little blurb, little talk, video, a reel on social media.
I can see you doing that.
Yes, sir.
Real easy.
Yeah,
Easy.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
You'd be
Yeah.
great at it.
thank you, sir. But it is doing it on a consistent basis, right? So my micro step, but I think it's the preparation of it.
Yeah. What would that be?
is- I think it's like literally planning it out for the week, maybe a couple weeks. What's my topic going to be? What's my subject? Because I know this. I know that I'm fairly decent at just stepping up and just talking, right? Just throw a subject at me and I can make something.
Kind of
of
like
it.
what we're doing today.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think my fear is that, or my excuse when it comes down to it, when I do it the one time, I'm like, okay, put it on, got my rears going, okay, good, put it out. Now the next day it's like, what do I talk about now? Because it's not planned out.
So one of your fears is to worry as to what you're going to talk about, what your stack up, what your lineup's going to be.
Right. Am I repeating myself every day? Are people gonna thinking about what other people think? Are they gonna look at what I'm saying and it's like, okay, is that guy full of it? Does he know what he's talking about? Because he's about 3 weeks in and he's already repeated himself like 5 times.
Yeah.
Like what is that? And it's just getting on the other side of that. So it is taking a micro step, small step.
Okay, what would that be now?
Literally sitting down and planning out my week.
Okay,
Like,
well, what about 3 days? Would that be
that
easier?
would be more manageable.
Okay.
Yeah, bite size.
So when would be a good time to plan out your next 3 days?
It's always right now, right?
Well, yeah. When's the best time to get better? Any day you want to.
Yes, sir.
Well, when's that going to happen?
That's yeah.
Yeah.
So
when do you think you might be able to sit down and plan out 3 days worth of content? Even if you did it every other day, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Yeah.
Just
Start
plan
out
out
small.
just-
There's your week right there.
Right.
Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I think you'd be wonderful at it, bro. I mean, you're doing this.
And this is what I lean on. This is like my
Yeah,
crutch,
you're doing great.
right? Because we can create reels to throw out on social media with this.
There you go.
Right?
But you're healed now. You're healed.
Yes.
You don't need this as a crutch. You're healed.
Yeah.
I mean, you break your leg, yeah, you need a crutch or need a walker,
Yeah.
but 5 years, 5 years, you still gonna be walking around on a crutch?
Right.
The
Right.
fact is,
Right.
do you want to be healed?
Yeah.
Well, throw away the crutch.
Yeah, that's
Well, not literally. The equipment's pretty expensive. but
What
but
did you
yeah.
tell yourself when you went on stage? When you went on stage and your heart was racing, what did you tell? Do you have that same similar feeling here? Like the failure, or do you have the fear, or what is the difference in that feeling when you went on stage as to, hey,
So-
you're doing this?
the way I describe getting on stage is it's prepared spontaneity,
Right.
right? So you have to be fully prepared, but absolutely you got to be able to pivot in the moment, to live in the moment,
Right.
right? So for me, I feel, because I already knew the songs, right? I knew the exact words, I knew the tempo, I knew everything that was going into it. So for me at that one, that was more of like it was because it's high energy, right? It's like, oh man, there's music, there's a crowd, people are staring. You know, there's no medium of the camera. You know, I feel this one is just me and the camera. But then I don't know who's looking at me on the other side of that camera.
Fear of the unknown.
Fear of the unknown. Yeah.
Well, this fear can be a powerful motivator, pushing you to take necessary action, huh?
Yeah.
So I think we've called him out
A little bit.
Yeah.
a little bit
So
for 3
how
days.
long do we give him, like, to get this figured out before we see him on
Well, if we
the?
make it too long, then he'll wait till the last minute
That's
because
it. We can't do that.
procrastination.
That's
Like
So-
2 weeks is.
Yeah.
2
Yeah, I
weeks
think-
is pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
we're going to give you 2 weeks.
All right.
Okay, you better write that down.
I am
because-
actually.
Yeah.
You're going to get 2 weeks, Angel.
Love it.
We want to see a reel.
So
going.
and
Slow
here's the
down.
cost of it, brother. You've got a great vision. You've always, as long as I've known you over the last 2 years, you've always had great vision for helping others and going forward. But this fear of failure can actually push you to your dream. You know, and the fear that we get bogged down in, because that's all fear does. It holds you captive. It can actually, you know, and you know, the fear of trying to compare yourself to others, there's no win in that neither.
There's no win
right?
in that,
You know, yeah, a lot of people are kind of in this space, but are they? You know, I can remember back when I first started speaking, when I first started pastoring, like doing this, I'm great, but you know, a lot of it has to do with growth. So I thought I'd get up to speak for me, you know, but I'm trying to share what I learned through Scripture. But I would get up to speak for me, and so every time, you know, the music would be going, you know, because that's pretty much what happens in a faith-based service. You normally got your music, and you got some announcements, and you got some more music. I'd be in the bathroom kind of dry heaving because the nervous anxiety. But the more I realized that when I started really breaking it down, doing this hard work that we're talking about, it's not easy. I mean, just admitting that I thought people were coming to hear me. When people are really coming to sit there and worship God, their creator, but then also pick something where they can get better. And I can remember that every time that I'd go through this drive heaving there in the bathroom, I could keep hearing that I just need to be real and I need to humble myself. And slowly, over a couple of months, it really started transferring into from me to we. Then it went from me to we to them, to all of them. And after a while, I wasn't even going to the bathroom before the service, dry heaving.
Yeah.
And it just, I think you're a very humble man, you're very wise, and you do care about people. And I think you really have, if you're feeling this to be calling the next step, you have no other choice.
It's them.
Because who's going to suffer?
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to be okay.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't do that, you're going to be fine.
Right.
You know, my mother told me the other day, everything is fine. It may not seem like it to you right now, but everything is fine. You're going to be fine.
Right.
But what about the other people that are even listening to this? I mean, and the masses, they could hear that one bit of encouragement. The person that tells you, hey, you got to get on the bicycle. You got to make a little bit of investment into yourself. I mean, where can that go? So we can't worry about comparing ourselves to others, can we? Yeah.
I love that. Thank you, Dan.
So, you know, I'm reminded of a story there in Scripture. Jesus is talking, and he's talking to his disciples. He says, you guys are worried about pretty much nothing, that not even a sparrow, not even a bird falls to the ground without him knowing about it. And, you know, think of a bird. A bird really has no value. And But God sees even the bird that falls. And God sees you. God sees that mountain that you think is a mountain that's not. He sees over that. He can see where he desires you to be. And then you have a choice.
Yeah.
When can you get better? Any day you want to. And then Jesus goes on to say, not even a hair can fall out of your hair without him knowing it. He values you that much that he knows every little thing that he's empowered you to do. And that he says, he says, don't be afraid. He addresses our fears. And I really believe that I don't believe in circumstances. This topic today about fear and courage, and it all started with courageous women.
Yeah.
Is in our event that's coming up. But fear isn't of God.
No, it's not.
Fear is not of God. God has great things lined up for all of us if we just acknowledge him and we start stepping into it as we see. So,
Yeah, stepping into it. I love that.
Yep, stepping into it.
Thanks, Dan. Yeah.
I think a lot with my fears, I make excuses a lot of the times why I can or can't. People tell me that quite often. I meet with many people every day, a bunch in the week, and a lot of them say, I can't do that. I can't make that kind of money. I can't live in a house like that. I'll never have a vehicle. And I go, you're right.
You're right. Yeah.
But then other people come in and they go, hey, I can ride that horse. I can saddle that horse. I can ride that bicycle. I can start that business. I can do that podcast. I can do that social blast. I can do that. And I go, you're right.
You're right.
You can.
Yeah.
You can.
You're
You
right.
can. And it all comes with the moral courage to do that. And for many of us, I think a lot of us realize that I'm not brave, I'm not courage, but if you can do these things just by writing some of your fears down, there's just a wonderful way how God does his job. Because then it's not underneath the bed anymore. You've actually looked underneath the bed, as in my first story. You've looked under the bed and you've realized that nothing's there. You've taken that extra step. You got out of the chute, you got on the horse, and you took off.
Yep.
And then you've got to do again that what's that cowboy statement? If you get bucked off, get right back up.
Yeah, get back up again.
And that's the way life is.
Yeah.
So once you get knocked down, but you've learned a lot along the way.
Yeah.
So, it may be time for us to think a little bit more. What would it look like if some of us, even here tonight before we go to bed, what would it hurt if you took 2-3 minutes just to think about if you're paralyzed or not? And what is holding you back from a better life? And so I think what we've done here today is we've kind of identified some specific fears. We've talked about some of our own. Tina was very transparent, 39-year-old not riding a bicycle. I mean, when most of our listeners, I'd be willing to bet everybody listening to this, you all know how to ride a bicycle.
I guarantee they do.
I guarantee they do. But how many of you know how to ride a horse? So we look at that, a horse, a live, moving animal, weighing 50 times as much as a bicycle, where you're in control of the bicycle, you really aren't in control of the horse except for one little small thing in its mouth.
Yep.
But you can do it. So identify specific fears, accept these feelings that you have, and reframe our mindset. It's easy to say, reframe how you think. That's where you have to come in. You have to do something. You have to do something.
Absolutely.
You are responsible for reframe your mindset through transparency. I mean, what's great about the paper, Angel and Tina, is you're writing it down. Nobody's looking over your shoulder. You have to do that. So
Yeah.
how bad do you want to escape this life of fear? I get, we live in a world today full of fear.
Yeah.
But if we get so caught up into the fear, I think we miss opportunities. So you want to have opportunity to make more money, to go buy this or that, or provide for your family. You want to have better relationships. You want to have a better marriage. You want to have a better professional. You want to have a better business. This is where it starts.
Yeah.
Because if you can't address the little fears that you have, how are you going to address the big fears? I mean, you can't skip steps in this.
Right.
You can't skip steps.
Right.
So I would consider and ask you to consider, what can you do today?
Yeah.
What can you do?
What small step can you take in that direction? Yeah.
It's just a small start.
Yeah.
That's the simple step. You got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
You got to make an investment of time, money, or both.
Right.
You have to buy the bicycle. You have to take some time, and you have to set aside some time to prepare. We've all got to do these things. We've got to. And then the goals have to be achievable. So you go, well, do I plan out 2 weeks? Well, how long is that going to come? When am I going to do that? Well, we just knocked down 14 days down to 3. Take 3 days and take that. Do it Monday, Wednesday. So is that mentoring or coaching, or is it just two friends being thinking partners together and lending courage and strength? And just a thought, it may not be the way,
Right.
but it could be a start to a way. And if you really think about it, you can probably come up with the way for you, which will even be better than us discussing. So I would seek support, educate yourself.
Yeah.
Go learn about a horse. Go look at one. Research some
That would help.
strategies. So, I mean, I guess at the end of the
Find
day,
a grown adult bike to buy that can later have training wheels.
with big fat tires, I guess.
That might help.
But
Mountain bike.
here's kind of the final takeaway. Can you imagine your life where you can be? Can you imagine where you can be if you just take the next 3 days and focus on your fears? I mean, we've all got them. We've all got them. But can you imagine how you can help others? I mean, that's part of giving more than you take. Each one of you listeners, you've given us your time, you've given us your kindness by listening to all three of us. But can you think of the lives that you can help? Can you think of the lives that can be changed? I mean, you just taken the kindness of asking us into your office staff here off Big Spring Street here in Midland, Texas. You've changed us, because I'm a firm believer what we're currently doing right now will show up in our future. And you said something remarkable, and I've thought about it often. You reminded me. We're a product of our grandparents' prayers, or our great-great-great-great-grandparents' prayers from 7 generations. As they were doing their life, conquering their fears, they were calling out, and they were speaking blessings over the future generations. I guarantee you, just like how you speak over your daughter, just like how I speak over my children, as you do your daughters, I think God honors those prayers as we move forward. So can you imagine the lives that you can be involved with? And, with the young adults, by the law of the numbers, they're probably going to outlast me and you. Tina will probably live forever,
I'm mean.
She's too mean. Also got a girl named Naomi that's just as equivalent to me. And my wife, she's pretty mean. Cheryl, but she's real sweet. I had a person tell me there the other day, one of my friends, Georgie, she tells me, she says, Cheryl's a saint. Dan, not you so much. but really, let me ask you, can you imagine how you can help others with being transparent? Can you imagine the lives that can be changed or saved because you take 5-10 minutes over the next 3 days? What are y'all's thoughts about that? And I'll kind of back out of this.
I love that perspective. Because I feel, speaking, from what my personally, that I think I do a lot for others. Right, I'm involved in nonprofits, and I've always been a servant. Right? I've always been, since I was a kid. Another thing from my parents, raised me to be a servant, right, serving others. But like for what you said earlier, right, because you're in the bathroom preparing because you were nervous because you had to go out there because it was about you, right? And then went from you full circle. No, it's not about me. It's about them, right? Because you have a knowledge that is needed in the world, right? People need what you have, right? So for you to share that, it's getting on the other side of the fear, right? Is recognizing an introspection of saying, no, wait, I'm just a conduit, where like the universe, God is speaking through, so other people can be impacted, can change their life, can step on the other side of fear of whatever their fear is. Can they get past it? Do they have the support, the encouragement that not I can provide, but that I'm a vessel that can deliver that message, right, to whoever it is that needs to hear it, and being raised as a servant, I was never. I guess I never went deep into the thing of why. It was just what it was, right? Did it make me feel good to help others? Absolutely, right? It's like, oh, that felt good, helping somebody. It feels good, right? But then again, that is the pride, right? That is the ego. That is, oh, it felt good to do that, right? Whereas now inverting that to where it's got to feel good to them, right? For me to them, it's like it's really stuck with me what you said earlier. I don't know where I was going with that, but that's
Well, you're talking about being a bridge.
Yes.
About being a bridge.
Yes.
From getting from here to there. And when you build your life as a bridge, you've got to build the bridge, you got to buy the supplies, you got to do the work.
Yeah.
So people that you'll never know will cross that bridge. However, many of there on this call, we've all been stung by that. When you're a bridge, people are going to run on you. People are going to jump on you.
Yeah.
People are going to take out their pocket knife and carve their initials in you.
They're going to put graffiti on you.
Yeah. And they may even try to destroy the bridge.
Yeah.
But what are you building the bridge for? To be able to help people get from where they are now to where they need to be. And that's what's so wonderful about you and how you share the story of Michael, your mentor, and just through the stories and how he helped mold that. Now you're sharing your life with us, and I can honestly say about both of you guys, make my life better. You make my life better. Another word of caution I just now thought of is that a lot of the times when we just get to be so giving all the time. It's important that we don't create an environment where people love your hand all the time. Because when they love your hand, love what you can do for them, they become users where they expect it from you. I remember in the roofing business, be around the holidays, I always used to give a ham and a turkey out, and people just walk up to me, weren't even working for me or working with me. They'd come and expect it. It's like, so we need to be aware of that. Because a lot of people, they start expecting you to continue to give, and they forget that you have a heart too. And so you have to do your own work, because when people come to you, I want to be able to say yes. Father Bridges over there at St. Stephen's Catholic Church here in Midland, he was remarkable. He was another major. I sit on the board of Helping Hands. I was the president there for quite a few years there. And Father Stevens, he would always say something like, I want to be able to say yes. We need to figure out a way how to say yes. And I've tried to keep that in the back of my mind. I always want to be able to say yes. However, with diligence and with becoming experienced in business and having a good heart, sometimes always giving isn't the right thing to do for those people. Because they won't do the work themselves. They won't think. That's what I've always liked about you. Even doing this, both of you have created me to think today.
Yeah.
So you've made me better.
Absolutely. Likewise. That made me better for sure. Both of you.
Go ahead.
And our that's what we want our room to be for this event, for the women.
Yeah.
We want them to feel safe. We want them to feel valued. We want them to feel worthy. And we want them to think.
Yes.
What's next? How do I get there? How do I take those steps to achieve that? And so, April 17th and 18th, that's coming up. And I know that with y'all two talking, it just kind of makes me think, like, what are we doing for the men?
Yeah.
Dan, what do we have
they
for
can
the
go to our
men?
website at aoleadership.com.
Okay.
They can go to AO Leadership, which is short for Alpha Omega Leadership. We're on Facebook, on Instagram. Tina knows all that stuff.
All the things. The tickety talk? The TikTok?
The TikTok stuff. And hey, Angel, I'd like to award you 2 tickets if you can.
Awesome.
I don't know how you want to really work that. I'll kind of leave that to your expertise. But like to, just for your kindness today, and like to award you 2 tickets to give out to any of your listeners that respond. I don't know.
Yeah.
And
awesome.
matter of fact, we'll make it 3. We'll just make it 3 because I don't want anybody fighting. Thing is, you have to be a girl.
Yes.
or a lady.
Yes.
A lady.
Yes.
But I think any young adult lady, probably 16 and up,
think it would be good.
That would probably be good. We've got 12 speakers coming. We've got a lady named Denise Gitsom that works with the Senate and politics.
Yeah.
We've got Regina, which works with emotional intelligence. We have just things to help calm you when you feel all that anxiety. We have that going on. We have a couple educators coming. We have some great women that have had some real stories, real life deals, and how they've had to overcome those stories. And just like what we shared today, just those little stories, it made things pleasant today.
Right.
It kept the conversation going. And so there's the goal, to keep the conversation going. That's out there in Greenwood, out there at the La Luz Event Center, which you've been to several times with us.
Yeah.
And then we have a men's event.
Yeah, in August.
And I actually will do that too with you.
I think so.
3 tickets for the men. So
Awesome.
maybe if the ladies have a loved brother, sister,
Spouse.
brother, father, uncle,
Something.
a gentleman. We have a pretty good lineup so far. I'll be speaking. My friend Paul Martinelli will be speaking.
Oh,
Ed
wow.
Rush,
Nice.
which that alone right there will,
That's
worth
amazing.
it. Yeah.
are 2 wonderful men. But we also have Terry Bradshaw.
Oh, wow.
And then many of you may not know, but on Sunday mornings for football, he has a co-host by the name of James Brown coming with him too.
Yeah.
And
Oh, wow.
we also have Jason Garrett, the backup quarterback to Aikman for 5 years. And he also coached the Cowboys for 5 years. Got him into the playoffs several times, but just, if he just wouldn't have put in Dak, if he just would have let Romo in that last time, I think we could have done it. I got a friend that got a tattoo for back then. They didn't make it to the Super Bowl, but he put big tattoo Dallas Cowboy champs. That was just, yeah.
I get it.
Not throwing you underneath the bus, Brian. But, but I've also got a friend. They're out of Dallas named Billy Cox. He's highly talented in sales.
Yes.
And just he's a wonderful individual. Very impactful, has a wonderful story. And these 2 events, regardless what type of, where you may be professionally, maritally, spiritually, man, we just want you to come and be enlightened. And I guarantee you that you'll leave that property with some purpose, clarity, a dream, and a vision. And just being in the room, I think we're all better together, right?
Absolutely.
And it all starts just by start writing it down. Start thinking on paper. Angel's a great thinking partner. Give Angel a call and schedule an appointment with Angel, whether if it's for business or just you just need somebody to talk with.
Absolutely.
I guess you're open up for an introduction call to see if
For sure.
y'all may be a good fit.
Yeah.
Can't do everybody for long calls, but you can get on a discovery call to
Absolutely.
find out what the needs are to see if you guys can work together. So,
Absolutely. I got a 15-minute discovery call.
good.
So,
Good.
awesome.
Good.
There we go. But absolutely. That's amazing. Looking forward to the August, the men's. What's the name of that one? Do you have a name?
Chosen to lead.
Chosen to lead.
And this other, the
Nice.
ladies is called Masterpiece. Ours is called
Masterpiece.
Chosen to
Yeah,
Lead.
that's a
And
big
then
one
we're in
too.
the middle of planning one for October 1st
Okay.
called One Decision Away. One decision away from a better life.
Yeah.
One decision away from a worse life. One decision away for the same.
Yeah.
And we've reached out to a couple of people. I think we have Drew Pearson coming.
Wow.
And Pudge Rodriguez, the Hall of Fame catcher. Oh, got your attention on that
That's
one
my
too.
dude right there.
And so
Yeah.
we're talking. I know a couple ladies that have been in the Olympics. So we are working on that. But right now, it's all about 99% of my focus is on people,
3 weeks.
and 99% is all on the ladies event coming up. So.
Feel
Feel free to reach out to my brother Angel here.
Yes.
Thank you so much for your kindness in having us.
absolutely.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Tina.
guys.
We
hit
enjoyed
it. Boy, I've got to do more of these with you. Actually, I think we just need to do one with her on it. She's so much prettier than you or I. I think she might need to start her own thing after she learns to ride her bicycle.
I think so.
We ought to film that riding her bicycle. Wouldn't that be?
It's gonna be good.
But you know what we didn't do? We kind of nailed you down for 2 weeks. I think we need to nail her down.
I have a year. You said this next year. I have a
next year.
year to get it together.
But when are you going to buy the bicycle? Within the next month? We got to have some type of start date here. And as you noticed, I kind of left myself out.
Yeah, I saw that.
See, that's what a real mentor and a leader does.
You've done a great
He
job with
empowers the
that.
people. Well, hey, we love you all.
Yes,
thank you
thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you,
Thank
guys,
you so much. And I
coming on
love you
board.
both dearly.
All right. So from Dan himself, 3 tickets. Message us. Call in. Do you want them? Let somebody know who you think may want to attend.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to be a great conference.
Or if you even got a church or you know other people, you can go to AO.
Leadership.com.
Yeah, leadership.com.
That's it.
And we've
Hey.
got the sign up, the tickets for the 2-day event with lunch provided is $97. If you want the VIP experience, that's something there. And I think we can probably extend a discount to that. We can talk to Angel about that, but give
Yeah.
Angel a call
Yeah, give us a
on
call.
that.
You
on
mentioned
that.
Angel. We can run a discount for that.
That's right.
Okay.
I like
Awesome.
it.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Yeah.
Now, not the Angel like with the halo, because Angel's, yeah, his halo's tilted just
Yeah.
A little bit. It's for the style. It's for the style. I did want to. You brought up AO leadership. I've been wanting to tell you guys for a while, right? So at the Focus Conference, you're going, hey, right? You're having all the AO team stand up.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if y'all heard me, but I would be in the background, say, hey, let's go. Right?
I like
so
it.
that definitely something I think y'all should
like
incorporate.
it. Have
plan.
fun.
To coming on
Okay.
stage, get
Yeah.
them riled up a little bit.
I like
All
it.
the ladies in the house, I think they'll really respond to that.
I think
like it.
Tina she's going to be on stage
Yeah.
both days,
Awesome.
multiple times.
Yeah.
Probably about 8-9 times.
Once
a
or
day.
twice.
You get your reps
Yeah.
in.
Getting the reps in. I might ride my bike on stage.
Oh, that would 3 weeks.
I'm not
Let's
ready.
go.
I'm not ready. I'm
Oh,
sweating.
we can at least put it up there and let her
Yeah.
try it on the stage.
That would be a good that's
Oh,
my goal.
that would be good, and have her actually, on purpose fall over or accidentally fall over and never show the bruise, and that's like life, everybody.
Yeah.
Boy, this conversation's really going.
We're going in the weeds here.
All right, thank you guys. All right,
Thank
we
you.
will
I love
catch
it.
you guys on the flip.